My job as a driving instructor is really very simple, and it is about teaching the basics well. Okay, so when my learners leave me, most of them pass first time, and that's not because I'm this amazing instructor, it's because they understand the basics very, very well, and that is what the driving test tests for. Throughout the process of learning, a lot of my learners ask me questions like, why does no one else do this? Or why doesn't anyone else have the same attitude as us? It's a really common question. So what I'm doing is just a little mini series, and in these series are going to be very short videos, and they are going to target the basics, the very basics of driving that we all really should or should not be doing. And yet on the roads, it is commonplace for these things to either happen or not happen. And hopefully with this we can start to spread a bit of the awareness, and a bit of the attitude can change, and the roads can be better places. If one of these things is either done or not done incorrectly, it's usually going to come down to one of four things: knowledge, understanding, skills, or attitude. And I would suggest with most full license holders, tends to come down to one of the first two or the last one: knowledge, understanding, or attitude. It can come down to skill, but that's usually more learning. So in this mini series, the very first point that I'm going to start to target is a really basic one, as I promised they would be, and that is tyres and tarmac. Now we've all heard that phrase. Most of us probably understand what it means, and essentially it means that if I stop behind another car, I should leave a gap so that I can still see the car in front's tyres, and maybe even a little bit of the road surface, depending on how tall I am, etc. And there's a number of reasons for this, and none of them are bad. It's all good stuff. There's no disadvantages to doing this, but it very rarely happens. I certainly notice on the roads that not many people are employing it. So let's attack the reasons why we do this. Number one, if the person in front of us isn't quite as competent or switched on as maybe we're being, certainly if we're on an uphill, there's the potential for the vehicle in front to roll backwards. And if I've left enough room, I could even use the horn to alert them the fact they're rolling backwards, rather than the first thing I know about it, they're hitting my vehicle. Reason number two, if I'm hit from behind, I'm very unlikely to suspect that, and if I am hit from behind, I don't want to hit the vehicle in front of me as well. I want to try and reduce the damage to my car. I'm pretty well protected from the rear, so it's best for me not to be pushed forward into another car and create double the damage and involve more parties in that accident. Reason number three, if the vehicle in front of me is to break down, which has happened to me once, only once, but because I had nice tyres and tarmac distance, I had no problem in getting around that vehicle. Happy days. Now the other reason I would give is much more important, and that is that if I have an emergency vehicle behind me trying to get through traffic, I want the room to manoeuvre so I can get out of the way, and that is the most important, because you're putting lives at risk if you're stopping emergency vehicles getting through. If everyone is tightly packed with no tyres and tarmac space being thought about, it causes delays in moving to allow emergency vehicles through to where they need to get to. This is a really basic skill, and it doesn't happen very often. Not many people seem to be doing it. So let's try and spread the awareness, let's try and spread the knowledge of why we should be doing this, and hopefully we'll see more people doing it. But let's see in the comments, let me know if you do it regularly, let me know if you notice if you don't, and put a bit more conscious effort if you're not, into achieving this so that it becomes your natural thing to do. Every time you stop at a junction, at a roundabout, in traffic, you are leaving this distance, and as I said, there are no disadvantages. I'll see you for the next one.